Let's talk about accessing your app resources. Once you provide a resource in your application, you can apply it by referencing its resource ID. So any resource that you are planning to have in your app can be referenced through a resource ID. And there is an R class which gets created every time you make an app, and this R class has all the resources referenced to it, right? When your application is compiled, app generates the R class and which contains resource IDs for all the resources in your res directory. So resource directory has all the resources available which you require in your app, right? And although the R class is where the resource IDs are specified, you should never need to look there to discover a resource ID. A resource ID is always composed of a resource type. So every resource ID will have a resource type such as string, drawable or layout, and a resource name, which is either the file name excluding the extension or the value in the XML. So you can also have the resource name in the XML as an attribute. Now there are two ways you can access a resource in code, that is while you are in Java you can access the resource like this. Are the name of the class dot string dot hello, and string is the resource type and hello is the resource name. And in XML you can do it like this. We have already seen this happening when we were converting or rather changing the name of their string here. So if you remember, whenever we had to reference this, we would use the @ annotation right here like this. Now in case you want to access the resource in the code, then this is an example that they have given. Let's say you are making an image view object and then you want to set an image resource onto it. Then you can call r.drawable.myImage, and you can get all the resources through get resource method, right? Not to mention here that if you click on in any one of these, you can get more explanations regarding the same. So in this way, I would say that Android docs are quite comprehensive. They have almost everything covered. You just need to have patience so that you can understand and learn each and everything. Couple of syntaxes have been given here, and the use cases. So these are different use cases that you can have. You probably might want to have a background background set in your app, and for that you can use get window method, another method that is available in Android, and then call set background drawable resource and pass this resource ID to the method so that you can have this background for the current screen from a drawable resource, right? Similarly, you have other methods available. I'm sure you must have seen this couple of times, set content view. So this is also one of the methods that we use, and that's about it. Let's talk about accessing resources from XML. I don't think we need to really discuss this much because we have already discussed it at length, and the syntax is also given here. You have to make sure the package name, resource type and resource name are mentioned. The couple of use cases. In some cases you must use a resource for a value in XML. For example, to apply a drawable image to a widget. So you must use a resource for a value in XML. So obviously, if you are putting an image in a image view, then you have to give a resource for the image there. And you have other resources like color and string. You can use opaque. So this is what they have done here. If you remember, we had discussed the color file here, right? So you can define colors. Similarly, they have defined it here, and you can create your own resources like this. So for example, you can create a resource which has one color and one string name, right? And you can keep using these as and when required. That's what they've done here. You should use string resources at all times so that your application can be localized for other languages. This is the repetition of what we have already discussed. You should use string resources rather than hard coding the strings, because a lot of times you will be working on apps which need to be localized for other languages. So you can utilize the localization services for Android, and make sure that your strings appear in the same language the way they should be appearing in different locales, right? Now let's talk about referencing style attributes in our next video. See you.